Jayshree. We're here to talk about your daughter Millie and what we're doing to continue her legacy. Tell me a little bit about Millie.
She was born on July 11th. We spent 5 days in the NICU with her. She was 4 pounds 10 ounces. But we thought she was fine. She chunked up like she was supposed to. She didn't crawl. She didn't have teeth. But all the doctors assured me that it was fine, that she was normal. And then when we had orders to come here, she was 9-ish months old. I took her in for an ear infection. They said, just give her antibiotics, keep an eye on it. She ended up getting really lethargic. Didn't want to eat, didn't want to do anything but sleep on me. If we were driving in the car, we drove from Virginia to California. We stopped in Texas. She still wasn't feeling well. We took her to an urgent care. We were told that she had a double ear infection, and so they gave us more medication. It was not helping. Turns out she was getting worse, so we had to take her to the emergency room in New Mexico. They said that she did not have a double ear infection. Her antibiotics were misdiagnosed. She was having too much medicine. So they redid her antibiotics. She got pumped full of IV fluids and they sent us on our way. She started to act a little bit better, I think, because she was so hydrated. And then she had a black eye. It's just a tail sign that she had a cancerous tumor behind her eye. She got worse and got worse. So we took her to one of the extension campuses at Phoenix Children's. And they did blood work. They figured out that she had thrush. She had an enlarged belly. We went down to the downtown Phoenix campus, had to wait for a CT scan. They came back really quickly and said, it's cancer. That's the bad news. But the good news is her prognosis is good. And we decided that we would just do her MRI and her biopsy, because what the doctor didn't think was a mass, because it was so large, was indeed an actual mass. It was coming off of her kidney. When she went down to the anesthesia room, the doctor took her away from us, and that was the last time that we were able to hold her, because her body couldn't stand being under the pressure and breathing on its own. The tumor was just so large, it was compressing her lungs. So she was placed on a ventilator. She coded, and they had to restart her heart. She was placed on heavy sedation medication. We started chemo the next day. We would not be able to change her diapers because the treatment that she is getting is basically so toxic it could hurt our skin, but it was going through her body. She would lose all of her hair, all of her eyelashes, her eyebrows, her nails would fall off. We would have to take her into the emergency room if she had a mild fever. Her nurse gave her treatment. It was 2 different drugs for 5 days. She was on her sedation medicine. She had baby restraints on her arms and her legs, because when she would wake up a little bit, she would try and yank things off of her. Her body started to shut down, so we put her on dialysis. She got blood transfusions, platelet transfusions. We found out it wasn't working. She was on enough medicine to basically knock her out, but she did open her eyes too. Whenever I would talk to the nurses or I would talk to her, she would try to open her eyes. She would try to look at me. That was the last time I got to see her eyes open. And then they gave her more medicine to close them. The doctors told us that her body is shutting down. There's nothing that they could do to save her life. I remember I asked, is the tumor so bad that we can't donate any of her organs? And we tried, and they found out that the tumor was just so horrible that it just took over her whole entire body, and we couldn't save any of her organs. We had her baptized, and we were finally able to hold her, and we took turns, and that was the first time that we were able to hold her. I actually was able to paint her nails pink naturally, and we told her that it's okay, and we're sorry that we couldn't save her life, and she didn't have to fight anymore. And we love her, and we are so proud of her, and we promised to do as much as we could in her name. And June 6th at 4:15, we said bye to sweet Millie. Now she's our little guardian angel. We have done fundraisers with different companies. It's right around $24,000 that we've been able to raise for Children's Neuroblastoma Cancer Foundation. Since then, I've learned that out of like the $24,000, if someone were to give us that check, our kids would get $960 of it. Out of that $960, we would get $57, and that's not okay for our kids. So now I am asking for help. Millie's name cannot be forgotten, and I truly believe that she was sent to us to do this. I'm just her voice, and I'm very honored to be able to do this for our daughter.